Well, hey there everybody, welcome back to my channel. As you can see from the title, today's video is going to be my full coverage foundation and full coverage contour routine. So for this look, I'm going to be working specifically with cream contour and liquid foundation. So I've already done my eyes and kind of filled in my brows, as you can tell. So let's go ahead and get started with the video. Okay, so for our first step today, we are going to be going in with the TarteGuard broad spectrum sunscreen lotion, and this is just something that I kind of sometimes put on my face before I put on my primer, even because the nicer you are to your skin, the nicer it is to you. So it's really good to protect it from the sun, and you don't have to do this, but I do recommend it if you're going to be spending your day out and about and stuff. So that's going to be our first step today. And for our second step today, you already know what primer I'm going to use. It's the one I use every time, and it's the Ulta Beauty color correcting face primer, and this is just super good if you have red spots like I do, and I also have freckles and stuff. And if you really want to, you can just put that on the areas where your pores are the largest, or also on the areas where the red spots show the most, but I like to put it all over my whole face because I do feel like it makes my foundation stay longer, and it's just really soft without being like too tacky. Okay, so for the next step in my full coverage foundation look, I've told y'all once before, but I do like to mix foundations based on the coverage I like out of one and the coloring I like out of the other, and just like the overall look, because sometimes I have them that are too light or too dark. And so two of my favorite foundations are the Forever Dior foundation, and I don't know if you can see it, but it is in the shade 020, and I just take a little bit of this and pump it onto my hand like as so. And then I'm also going to take the Urban Decay All Nighter Waterproof Longwear Liquid Foundation, which is this one, and this one is more my color because it's a little bit lighter. It's in the shade 2.5, and I'm going to take that and put it right on top of that Dior foundation, and I'm literally just going to swirl it around on my hand. I'm going to dab it all over the face really like evenly, just like polka dotting, because this is like the two colors mixed together, and we just gonna dab everywhere. Make sure you really get it on the nose, on the chin, nowhere needs to feel left out. Boom, 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 boom. Just as long as it's like fairly even. It doesn't have to be perfect because you're about to blend it in. And for my brush today, I do like to alternate brushes that I use, but I really do enjoy the Morphe M439 brush because it's just kind of like a thick kabuki brush in a way. Just really gets it all blended in together. And so we're just going to take that and we're going to blend from the center of the face to the outer side of the face. And that is just to make sure that you're really filling in the middle versus, and then like kind of spreading it out rather than like caking it up and pushing it in, if that makes any sense. It does in my brain, and that's all that matters. So yeah, this Morphe M439 brush is so worth your money. I think it's like $14, I'm pretty sure. I love it. This one and the Y6 brush, they're really great. I do like this one better though, I think. Now it's pretty evident that I just look like a puff pastry right now, so we're going to have to contour and highlight, of course, to fix that. Okay, so now we're going to begin with our highlight, and we're going to be using the cream highlight today, and I'm going to be going in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Contour Cream Palette, and this is the light kit. And so what we're going to do, you can see it's been through like a lot. Like I've had this for like a year, and I really do love it. And a lot of the times I will contour with concealer, but today I'm going to show you how I contour using this. And so I'm just going to go in with my beauty sponge, and this is from Morphe. She's been through a lot, so I need a new one, honestly. But it's damp. I've already like wet it, and then I'm just going to spray it with this MAC Prep+Prime. And we are just going to go into this fair shade at the top that I'm almost out of. And I'm just going to take that and go under, I think I swallowed some MAC Prep+Prime. Go under our eyes, and this is how we are going to highlight. And when you highlight, you want to do it on the areas of the face that you want the sun to hit. That's the whole point in like highlighting. So the areas that you want to like bounce off the most, so like center of the forehead, under the eyes, chin, nose, you know, the things that are pointing out, versus contour, which are the areas of the face that you want to look the most like the dimension into the face. So like under the cheekbones, on the side of the nose, around the head, and it's just kind of to slim your face per se. So we're just going to dab all of this highlight under the eye, and then we're going to take that fair shade and mix it with that neutral center shade, and we're just going to dab it on the center of the forehead. And then we're also going to do it around the baseline, this is the baseline, around the jawbone, just those same two colors mixed in together, and we're just going to dab, 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 dab. Boom. And a little bit on the nose. Okay, so now that we have this all pretty much beat into our face, for now, we're going to go in with this Revolution baking powder in the shade Ghost. And y'all heard me talk about this the other day and said I didn't really like it. Well, I'm still trying to make up my mind about it. I don't know, I can't decide yet, but this is what we're going to use to bake. And for those of you that don't know what baking is really, there's a definition on here. So I'm just going to read this. The natural heat from your body will cook powder over the base foundation or concealer, giving you a flawless finish. So this literally just acts as like a wall, like a border between your foundation or concealer or liquid highlight. And it just like traps it in, kind of like suffocates it into where it has to literally mix with the body heat of your skin to cook into your skin. So it just kind of like not mattifies it, but kind of like makes it just look like that flawless finish that you always want to go for. And so we're going to put a little bit of that on the forehead. This is a mess down here. If y'all, oh, hello, saw what's going on. This baking powder is very, powdery, but I got it because it was like $8 versus like $30, and I wanted some new baking powder and I didn't want to spend a lot of money. But it's not bad, it's just leaves you looking very white. But there are different shades, so if you don't want the Ghost shade, this was all they had in store in Ulta the other day, but it's not bad for your money, not horrible. Okay, so now while we're going to allow that highlight to bake into the skin, we're going to go ahead and begin our contour. And I'm going to take the Sephora flat blending brush, which just has like a firm edge to it. And I'm going to spritz it with that MAC Prep+Prime just a little bit to kind of dampen it. And then I'm going to go into that same Anastasia Beverly Hills Cream Contour Palette, which you do not have to go out and buy this palette. It is a little bit more expensive. This is just what I happen to have, and it was a gift. So I'm going to go into the shade Java, and I'm going to slightly mix it with Light Sculpt. And then we're just going to go into the areas of the face that we want the dimension. So under the cheekbones, just kind of like make that kissy face and see like where you want it. On the sides of the nose, under the nose, this cheekbone, not the cheekbone, under the cheekbone, you know what I'm saying. And then around the forehead. And you'll hear a lot of different beauty gurus and makeup artists give you this tip. I know it's like what Kim Kardashian's makeup artists use and have taught her, but you kind of just want to make a 3 around your face. So you start at the top of the forehead and then go down under the cheekbone and then go down under the baseline, as we're calling it, the jawbone, and just kind of run it under here to give you that slimmer neck appeal. Okay, so now I'm going to try to use that same brush to kind of buff everything out. And then I'm going to take that same beauty blender from earlier and do the same thing, just kind of beat it. This is where the term like beat the face comes in. And so we're just going to beat the face. And I'm going to take a slight little bit more highlight and put it on the top of the nose. Just because I felt like some of that contour accidentally like got on top of it. And you want to do more dabbing. You don't really want to do pulling because this is all like in a distinct area of the face. So if you take this and like really just pull it around rather than just kind of stay in place with it. Like, you don't want to be pulling it all up because it's all kind of like in a specific area of the face. So at the same time that I'm kind of like dabbing this contour in, I'm also going to start sweeping this baking powder off, but just super lightly, because again, we don't want to like mess everything up. I know that was basically all of the cream contour, and cream contour is when you want to have a more natural finish, and I know that sounds weird because you're literally caking your face in creams, but versus like powder contour, you can kind of see like all of that powder on your face, whereas cream, you kind of like bake it into the skin per se, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And so it's kind of more melted into the skin for like a flawless finish, rather than powder is more like chalky. But with all that being said, I do like to go in at the end with some bronzer. So I'm going to go in with the Hoola bronzer by Benefit, and just like a bronzing brush, and we're going to kind of go back over where we contoured, just because I'll do like a little extra, because when I do contour my face with cream contour, I don't really like to go in too heavy because sometimes it's a little bit too much. But I really don't mind the look of powdered bronzer for a light contour, but powdered like highlight does tend to get a little bit more messy. So we're just going to go back in, and then after I do that, I just like to dab over it with that sponge to make sure the powder did not get too crazy, as I like to say. Oop, whoopsie daisy. Okay, so just to add a little bit of color, I'm going to go in with the Sephora Tea Rose Tickle is what this is called, in the shade 05, Tea Rose Tickle 05. And so I'm just going to go in with a little bit onto the apples of the cheeks, just because when you do cream contour, sometimes it'll wash out your face because it gives that flawless finish that it's just like dark light. And so I just like a little color. That was horrible. Just a little bit. Okay, now I'm just going to go and add a little bit of highlight, and I'm going to use the Kylie Cosmetics French Vanilla highlight, and I'm going to go in with the Morphe M510 brush, and I'm just going to put that on the top of the cheekbones, and then a little bit on the temple, nose, tip of the nose, on this side. Come on. And then a little bit on the Cupid's bow. And then I like to dab a little bit on the top of the forehead just to add the extra shine, but not to where it's like crazy oily or anything. And then I think just to finish it out, we might as well finish the whole face together. I'm going to go in this Ulta Beauty matte lipstick in the shade Rosette. And y'all, honestly, their lipsticks, go check them out. They're really good. Like, I've noticed I use a lot of Ulta Beauty products in my videos, and that's where it's at, honey. Like, I don't know why I called y'all honey, but that's where it's at. Just to finish it out, I'm going to take this giant Sonia Kashuk brush and just kind of like make sure we don't have anything left on our skin, like any more baking powder, anything. And I think that may be all for this look, honestly. Okay, y'all, well, I believe that's it for today's video. So hopefully it wasn't too complicated to follow along. This is just my full face of full coverage foundation, full contour, using cream contour with a little bit of bronzer as a finish, as well as a little bit of highlight and powdered blush. So this is normally what I do when I'm going for a full coverage look. That's my exact routine. You do not have to mix foundations. I'm just doing that because I'm too cheap to go out foundation that actually matches my color and is the exact coverage that I like. So that's why I've been mixing, and that's just something that I kind of like to do. I like to collect foundation because I'm trying to try all of them. That's a different story though. So I do kind of like to create different foundations, as weird as that like sounds. Anyway, bunny trail again, I just talk. Thank you so much for joining me in today's video. Let me know what other kind of videos you want to see. This is something that people actually asked me to do from my Snapchat family. So add me on Snapchat, ClaireDoll12. I'll put that down below. I kind of like to do starting to do little talks on there asking like what kind of videos you want to see. So please add me. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter, ClaireBDoll. And so yeah, subscribe to my channel. Feel like don't even need to say that. You already know the drill. So yeah, I'll see you next time. I hope you really like this look.